What if I told you there was an artist who shattered the rules of sight? A man who tore apart tradition, rebuilt form, and forced the world to see through new eyes. He didn't follow beauty, he hunted truth. This is the story of Pablo Picasso, the rebel who reinvented art. Pablo was born in Barcelona, a city of sun and contradictions. His father, an art instructor, believed tradition was sacred. But Pablo's eyes searched for something else, not what things looked like, but what they were. By 7, he drew better than grown men. His father's pride turned to fear. If tradition was a cage, his son was breaking its bars. When Pablo was 14, tragedy struck. His friend died. Grief turned the world blue. This pain would ignite a new era in art. At 19, he left for Paris, the art capital. Cheap wine, cold attics, arguments about beauty until sunrise. Pablo was starving, freezing, unknown, but free. Parisia was bright and golden, but Pablo painted only blue. Beggars, outcasts, lonely lovers, blind musicians. He saw sorrow beneath the glitter and made the world face it. He sold almost nothing. Critics mocked him, too dark, too sad. But Pablo learned something vital. Better to starve for truth than feast on lies. He fell in love with a quiet girl named Marielle, a muse with tired eyes and a hopeful smile. Their love was tender, but it lived in hunger and blue light. When Marielle fell ill and died, the blue swallowed Pablo whole. But from devastation was born transformation. One morning, the blue finally cracked. Circus tents, dancers, acrobats, life returned in shades of rose. Pablo stepped out of sorrow and into fire. The world turned softer, warmer. Pablo painted acrobats, lovers, wandering performers, souls balancing between joy and collapse. His art no longer whispered of death, but of fragile hope. In the cafes of Montaloon, Parisia's bohemian quarter, Pablo found poets, drifters, geniuses, and fools. They argued, drank, dreamed of fame, and believed the world could be remade with paint and poetry. One night, Pablo saw a display of ancient tribal masks, shapes not bound by realism, faces carved with raw emotion and truth. He felt a spark. Beauty could be broken and still remain whole. He began to rip apart the rules, fragmenting figures, bending bodies, turning 3 dimensions into 2, yet revealing more than realism ever could. One canvas changed everything. It was violent and brilliant, a vision the world had never seen. Cubism was born, and art would never return to its cage. Critics attacked. Some called him insane, others a fraud. But the noise only fed the fire. Pablo had become the center of the storm, and the world could no longer ignore him. Other artists gathered around him, challengers, rivals, disciples. Together they formed a new front against tradition. They weren't just painting pictures, they were declaring war. Fame brought admirers, but one muse, Elenia, became his flame, wild, laughing, reckless. Together they lived like fire and wind. Parisia crowned Pablo as its new artistic king. Exhibitions, patrons, endless nights of praise and celebration. But somewhere beneath the applause waited the next storm. Beyond the glittering cafes and golden halls, the world was changing. Tension, anger, the smell of war in distant streets. Pablo felt it before others did. The age of celebration was ending. News struck like a blade. Iberian, Pablo's homeland, was drowned